Good morning class. In this video, we will discuss about the solution and its type. So solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Solution comprises of two components. One is solute and another is solvent. Solute is the component which is present in less amount but not always. That means any substance which is dissolved into the other substance is known as solute. Solvent is the component which is present in more amount but not always. Solvent is the component in which another component gets dissolved. These together constitutes the solution. I'll give you one example. When I am preparing the salt solution, then my salt is my solute and the water is considered as a solvent because solute dissolves into the water. So solute is NaCl, that is salt, and solvent is water, and these together constitutes solution. Here is the definition. Solvent, the component which is usually present in large amount, is called a solvent, and water is a universal solvent. But make sure not always the solvent is present in more amount. Not always. Usually it is present in large amount. I can give you one example of alcohol. In alcohol there is more amount of alcohol and less amount of water. Still water is considered as a solvent. That means water is present in less amount but still it is considered as a solvent. So what is solvent? Which is usually present in large amount, and you should also know that the component that dissolves the other component in it is known as solvent. Coming to solute. Solute is the component which is usually present in less amount. That means usually but not always. So solute is the component in which is dissolved in the solvent. That means solute is the component which dissolves in the solvent, and not always it is present in less amount. Again the example is alcohol, in which alcohol is present in more amount but still it will be considered as solute only. And these solute and solvent together constitutes solution. So solute plus solvent gives us solution. Now we will discuss the types of solution. There are three types of solution. One is true solution, second colloids, and third is suspension. We will discuss colloids and suspension in the next class, but for this video I am going to discuss the true solutions in detail. Now first we will discuss the types of true solutions. There are total 5 types of true solution. First is solid in solid. Solid in solid means both the solute and the solvent are in the solid state. Example, alloys like brass. Now what are alloys? They are the homogeneous mixtures of two or more metals or a metal and a non-metal, which cannot be separated into their components by physical methods, and they have variable composition. They show the properties of its constituents. So what we have discussed in alloys? First, they are the homogeneous mixture. And homogeneous mixture kiska? Of two or more metals or metal and a non-metal. The components of alloys cannot be separated by the physical method, but they can be separated by chemical method. Alloys, they have variable composition. Variable composition, I'll give you one example. If I talk about the steel has different forms. That means there is a good steel which has more costly metals in it. For example, if I talk about the cheap steel, so cheap steel has some less quality of metals. So that means steel has the iron component but it has variable composition. Alloys, they shows the properties of their constituents. That means they do not lose their property even when this alloy is formed. So the properties of the constituent present in alloys, they retain their properties. For example, the brass. Brass is an alloy which contains two metals known as zinc and copper. Copper is present in 70% and zinc is present in 30%. Now coming to second type of true solution is solid in liquid. Solid in liquid means first is my solute and second is my solvent. So solute here is solid state and solvent is liquid state. Example, sugar in water, salt in water, iodine in alcohol. This is new for all of you. Iodine is in alcohol. That means tincture of iodine. Sometimes the question may arise, what do you mean by tincture of iodine? So tincture of iodine is iodine in alcohol solution. Iodine is the solute and alcohol is my solvent. And this tincture of iodine is used as antiseptic for healing wounds. Third type of true solution is liquid in liquid. The solution in which both solute and solvent are liquid. For example, vinegar solution. Vinegar solution we all use in making chow mein. So that means sirka. So here this vinegar solution is prepared by dissolving acetic acid in water. Acetic acid is also liquid and water is also liquid. So liquid in liquid type of true solution. Fourth type is gas in liquid. Gas in liquid means gas is solute and liquid is solvent. So example is soda water. All of you have seen the soda water that contains your carbon dioxide gas. So soda water contains carbon dioxide gas in the liquid as solvent. Now fifth type of true solution is gas in gas. Here both the solute and the solvent are in the gaseous state. For example, air. We all know air is a mixture of gases. It contains 78% your nitrogen, 21% oxygen and 1% of other gases like water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide, etc. So air is a mixture of gases and it is a mixture that is homogeneous mixture, and homogeneous mixtures, they are true solutions only. So there are total 5 types of true solutions. You should know each one of them in detail and their examples. Now next is the properties of true solutions. First property is it is a homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixtures are those mixtures which have uniform composition throughout their mass. And we all know homogeneous mixtures, the particles we cannot see by the naked eyes. What is the reason behind it? Because the particles are very small, that is why they cannot be seen by the naked eyes. Second property of true solution is the particles of true solution cannot be seen by naked eyes because their particles are smaller than 1 nanometer in diameter. So why you cannot see the particles of true solution? For example, if I take the salt in water, you cannot see the particles of salt after dissolving. The reason is the particles are very small, and what is the value? That means कितना छोटा है वो particle. They are even smaller than 1 nanometer, and 1 nanometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So particles are very small. Third point is, as the particle size is very small, so they do not scatter a beam of light passing through the solution, and hence the path of light is not visible. If I am taking the salt solution in a container and with the help of a torch I pass a beam of light, what I observe that the beam of light goes straight after passing through the solution. That means it will not scatter. So the path of light is not visible in a true solution. Thus, they do not show the Tyndall effect. Now, what is Tyndall effect? The scattering of light when it is passed through a solution. इज नोन एज टिंडल इफेक्ट। जब लाइट पास करने पर स्कैटर हो जाए तो उसको बोलते हैं टिंडल इफेक्ट। बट ट्रू सोल्यूशन में स्कैटर तो हुई नहीं क्योंकि पार्टिकल्स तो बहुत छोटे थे, सो दे गो स्ट्रेट एंड दस इट इज सेड टू बी अ ट्रू सोल्यूशन इन विच the path of light is not visible and hence they do not show the Tyndall effect. Fourth point is the solute particles of true solution cannot be separated by the process of filtration. Now, why we cannot separate the particles of true solution? Filtration is a technique in which we use the strainer. Strainer means छन्नी जिसमें use करते हैं. So when I take the salt solution and filter the substance with a strainer, then the substance which goes off from the strainer, that means the filtrate that is collected in the another container, that is known as filtrate. That filtrate is not just my water, but again it is a salt in water. No salt will be left over the strainer. So that means the particles, because they are very small, so they passes through the filter paper and hence we cannot separate it with the process of filtration. True solution, fifth point is true solution, they are more stable. Stable means when you keep the salt in water solution for more days, even after 10 or 15 days, you cannot see the particles of salt settle at the bottom of the container. That means they do not separate from the solution. So true solutions, they are more stable because even on keeping the container or a beaker, the particles of solute never settle down, so they are more stable. Sixth is the example. So example of true solutions are salt solution, sugar solution and lemonade. So salt solution means NaCl in water, sugar solution is C12H22O11 in water, and the lemonade means lemon in water. So after using a strainer, the bigger particles of the lemon will be separated, but the solution that passes of the filtrate passes through the strainer, that means the filtrate is a lemonade, and this lemonade has the nature of the lemon also because it has that taste, it contains the citric acid, it has sour taste. So lemonade is a type of true solution, and even on keeping you cannot see the particles settle at the bottom of the container. So here we discuss the 5 properties of true solution. First, they are homogeneous. Second, the particles cannot be seen by naked eyes because they are very small, even less than 1 nanometer. Third is they do not show Tyndall effect because when a beam of light is passed through the solution, the particles do not scatter the beam of light and the path of light is not visible in a true solution. Fourth is the solute particles cannot be separated by the process of filtration. That means the particles will pass through the filter paper as they are very small. Fifth point is true solutions, they are stable. Stable means even on keeping they do not separate, so they are highly stable. So class, in this video we have discussed about the solution and its various types. So solution is made up of 2 components, one is solute and solvent. Solute is mostly present in less amount and solvent is mostly present in large amount, and these together constitutes solution. After this we discussed types of solution, which are true solution, colloids and suspension, and then we discussed true solution, its types and the properties in detail. For colloids and suspension we will discuss in the next class. So we discussed about the alloys also. They are the homogeneous mixture of 2 or more metals and a metal and a non-metal. Then we discussed the properties of true solution with their examples. Thank you class.